let's talk about Panic Parade and how you can grind and farm some of these event points so you can get a lot of freebies, but also potentially make it onto the rankings in the Panic Parade. If you've managed to make it up on this leaderboard, let me know in the comments below where your ranking is and how much HP you managed to keep Tinkerton on. My record is about 94% remaining HP, and that was with a bunch of randoms. Now, what's the best strategy? So what's the best way to do Panic Parade? Well, you look at what the top people have done, and you'll see they kind of use the same Pokemon. Now, there's probably a reason for this. They rip through it really quickly. You can see they get it done in 5 minutes, which is insane. But a quick shout out, some of these players up here are our top Australian players. So for example, Stu2 and Challenge, just to name some. They're in the single-digit placing, so good for them. They cracked at the game, and they've even figured out how to be cracked at Panic Parade, which is nice. But I'm going to highlight 2 Pokemon here. When you're playing Panic Parade, let's say you're playing by yourself, which is totally fine. That's what I've been doing. You can go Decidueye and you can go Dragonite. And you can see that Decidueye and Dragonite is pretty much on every single team. Now, there's good reason for this. They have extremely fast damage rip on those big objectives that walk down, like the Regigigas and stuff like that. You go Razor Leaf Decidueye and the Outrage Dragonite, and they're going to absolutely rip through some of that stuff. Now, you're going to unlock some stuff which goes towards your AOS shooter. When you get some points, when you complete this, you can see I've got 55 points. You can level up some of your Pokemon's stats, and these stay permanently with you within Panic Parade. I would recommend, and I believe I fully leveled up if I go to my AOS shooter, upgrade that attack, right? Because generally those are your physical mons rather than your special mons. Put a little bit in HP just because it's really annoying dying really quickly all the time. Movement speed just because I want to be able to run back to that Tinkerton in case he's getting, ripped on. And I like a little bit of crit and a little bit of attack speed, but generally I think I would be prioritizing your attack damage and maybe, just a little bit to your health and mobility. However, you don't necessarily need those to beat the extreme level. So when you go through, there are 3 levels of difficulty, and if you're queuing up with your friends, you've got to make sure that you're on the same level. If you have unlocked extreme, but your friends have only beat casual, then you'll only be able to play casual or intermediate, right? So hopefully you've all been able to get up to extreme, and I'm going to talk through the 15 levels that you need to beat within Panic Parade. Okay, so when you queue up, sometimes you're going to get bots, and that's totally fine. You can still, if you use this strategy, you're still going to be able to beat those bots. So my go-to is Decidueye. Now, if Decidueye is taken, I like to take Dragonite, but in this case, I'm pretty sure I'm playing with bots here. So you want to change your build. You want to go Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and a Rapid Fire Scarf. And I would be changing to an Emblem build where you've just got attack speed. I don't even know if this is optimal, but you just want to rip. You just want to attack faster, right? Because if you've increased the damage that you're doing within the Panic Parade, then that's fantastic. You're going to be able to rip out damage quicker. So I'm pretty sure I've queued with bots here. That's totally fine. This is on extreme level difficulty, so we're going to talk through each of the stages and how you want to approach each of them. Okay, as you can see down the bottom there, you only do the first 5 waves on casual, 10 on intermediate, 12 on expert, and you go through the full 15 on extreme, and it's over if your Tinkerton dies or when you finally reach the end of the wave. Okay, so you can see there are 3 kind of avenues where the enemies come in. For the first couple of rounds, they're just going to come out from there, okay? And you want to use a character where you can damage and keep your distance, because these mobs will do quite a bit of, they'll actually do quite a bit of damage to you, right, if you let them touch you. So as you can see, here's the enemy. I want to just keep my distance, right? So generally you want to use something with a bit of range, right? Now my Roltz is copping a bit of damage there, and generally when you're playing with bots, just pan up and just, you can see the health of your teammates on the side, but generally just pan up and see in case they're going to die, right? As you can see, my Roltz here is probably going to die. Now this electric thing's kind of annoying because he's got sure hit on him, so you don't want to stand too close, but you can kill him. Right, so the first 3 waves are pretty standard, right? You don't want to let this stuff get through, and you just keep attacking it until it's all done. Try not to get hit because you don't heal yourself unless it's natural lifesteal. Now when you get to stage 4, you got to be careful because there are some Eldegoss that spawn throughout here, and they are really annoying because they provide shield for all these little bees that run through. And when they've got the Eldegoss shield on them, they are really hard to kill, right? But I'm killing everything really quickly. You're probably not going to kill stuff this quick, just because I've leveled up my attack stat quite a bit. And I definitely recommend you do that, especially if you're using an attack speed Pokemon. Now you're going to get some stuff like this. This is the wild Gardevoir, who's you can see is just ripping me apart, even though I'm pretty chunky. He killed me. That's okay, my mobs are taking care of it. Okay, when you get to stage 5, generally you'll evolve here, and you get the first kind of wild that comes in, which is the Hooper. Now you've got to be careful for this Hooper because he uses his portal and brings in some other, you know, kind of Pokemon here that are going to damage that Tinkaton. So you want to be a little bit careful of that, so you kill them, and then you continue doing that work onto the Hooper. I'd suggest standing on the side because generally he likes to cast his skill in front or behind him, you know, rather than to the side. And you just want to rip out the damage. When you look on the minimap, you can see those wilds come in, which are Pokemon. You make sure you kill them because generally your bots are not going to kill those Pokemon. Okay, I like Shadow Sneak for the mobility. I don't really know if that's optimal. Okay, these Delibirds will drop a present, and as you can see, I get a recovery bomb, which is pretty cool. That'll heal me when I'm needing a little bit of health. The best ones to get are other Pokemon. Some of these waves are really easy, but as you're going to see in wave 7, it's pretty annoying and it's pretty hard to defend this Tinkertuff because there's going to be Solar Beams and Sableyes and Abras that come charging in, which is pretty annoying. So you can see the Greedent comes in, there's Abras, and they're already damaging Tinkaton. So for these guys who managed to keep it on 0 health, man, they must have been like sweating on parade. Okay, on wave 8 you get an objective that comes out. It's an Avalog. Just make sure you keep your distance from the Avalog because if you get caught in that spin, you're pretty much dead. Again, always keep an eye on the minimap in case... Oh, and watch out for the beam as well. I was not quick enough there. You've got to be careful for that as well. That's his other skill that can do quite a chunk of damage. Generally at this point, when you're level 11, you've got quite a lot of lifesteal, so you can cop taking a hit and you'll go back to full pretty quickly. But you've always got to be mindful. Anytime you see an Eldegoss, you kill the Eldegoss straight away because they are really, really annoying. I'll also note that when the enemies get within this kind of little this tiled area near the Tinkaton, it feels like they're a lot harder to knock out. Okay, so as you can see, the Sableyes running around, dropping money, there's Talonflames flying in, and there's Venusaur Solar Beaming. Don't let them do a lot of damage to you. As soon as they get close enough to do some damage, you've got to make sure that you are able to kill them. Alright, then wave 10, this is the Zapdos comes out, and this is the end of your intermediate stage. Again, you just keep an eye on the map because as you can see there are Voltorbs running down and they're going to do quite a chunk of damage to our Tinkaton here. So we want to kill them before they explode. Generally, Razor Leaf Decidueye is going to be pretty good at this. You've got to watch out for the Zapdos Shockwave there. As you can see, the bot kind of ran into me. I probably should have ran away from him, and that will do a lot of damage to you. 12, you're going to get a Registeel that comes down. Very similar, you just want to attack the Registeel. Anytime you see an Eldegoss standing behind, you take care of the Eldegoss because he's going to provide a lot of shielding to whoever the other mobs are that you need to kill. Okay, then you make it to the last round here. This is the one that's maybe a little bit complicated and might trick you up. You have got a Regigigas. You want to keep your distance from the Regigigas, especially when he does that move. As you can see, all the bots ended up just killing themselves, and my Blastoises tried to suicide at me there. You've got to keep your distance because as you can see, that skill does quite a lot of damage. Now when you take Regigigas down to a bit of health, a message will come up and say that he is now invulnerable, and there are some other bosses that you need to take down. You can see the 2 of them come on the map. You need to take the 2 of them down before you can hit that Regigigas. Again, this is a Regirock and a Regice. You can quickly take them down, very similar to the way an objective would work in a ranked game, and then you can go back to taking down this Regigigas. You should go down relatively quickly, and that'll mean that you are victorious in the extreme level difficulty. Now generally when you finish this, you'll get about 400 to 500 event points earned. If you're with some other people rather than bots, you'll be able to do this a lot quicker and with a lot more health left on the Tinkaton. The more health and the quicker you do it means that you're going to get more points. You can have a look at your battle data. This is pretty nice. I have done 1.5 million damage, which is pretty cool, and some of the other bots did quite a bit of work as well.